Today I will be discussing the environmental impact of meat production. I'll be discussing the impact it has and the many issues we never bother to listen to about it. Environmental impact of meat production. This varies because there's a wide variety of agricultural practices around the world. And it's been found that this variety affects the environment in a big way. Well, ways of how meat is obtained, it's by doing organic farming, free-range farming, and fishing. Next, I'll be talking about land use and overgrazing. The agricultural output in industrialized countries are about 40%, and soil erosion is associated with overgrazing, which is an important issue in dry regions. So the effects of soil erosion is overgrazing, but that can be positive or negative, but that all depends on management. Unless animal waste is well managed, it can stop the cause of water contamination. And in 2014, there were 6 enforcement actions taken by the EPA, the Environmental Protecting Agency. Wildlife. Overgrazing may affect certain wildlife species, but habitat modification can be a benefit for other wildlife species. The growing demand of meat production can contribute to the loss of biodiversity, deforestation, and habitat destruction. There are many agencies organizations that are also taking actions against these things, but the population keeps growing and the demand of meat becomes higher. So this is not to make everyone turn vegan, but these are facts that people should know about and should be aware of. Impact of meat consumption on animals. The animals on factory farms endure constant fear and torture. Farmers cut costs by cramming thousands of animals into dirty windowless sheds or stuffing them into wire and metal crates. Farmers care more about the cost than the animals' well-being, and due to this, animals are suffering. Animals often doesn't even have enough space to turn around or lie down in their cages. A lot of animals never get to go outside or even leave their cages unless they die until they are taken to be slaughtered. People naively believe that cows ate grass, discover that beef cattle may be fed anything from corn to fish meal, chicken litter, and slaughterhouse waste. And the reason for this is it's a lot cheaper than feeding the animals the food they are supposed to eat. Antibiotics are used to make animals grow faster and keep them alive in unsanitary conditions. If that isn't bad enough, most factory farm animals have been genetically manipulated to grow larger or to produce more products like milk or eggs than they naturally would. Knowing this, would you still want to eat meat, or at least find ways you can help these animals?
The demand of meat is associated with higher incomes and a shift due to urbanization to food consumption changes that favor increased proteins from animal sources in diets. Meat is one of the stable foods, especially in developed countries. It is also characterized by high production costs and high output prices. The consumption of meat has been increased with the increases in the income level of people. Meat consumption is related to living standards, diet, livestock, production, and consumer prices. The consumption of meat per capita in developed countries is twice more than the world average level. While the global meat industry provides food and a livelihood for billions of people, it also has significant environmental and health consequences for the planet. Meat consumption is measured in thousands of tons of carcass weight, except for...
What is the benefit of eating meat? Meat contains a large amount of protein, and our body needs that protein to grow. And such a benefit to repair and build our bodies to protect us from infection. Meat is no dietary devil because it has vitamin, and vitamin is also a big part of our diet. So vitamin A, B, and C are commonly found in meat as well. But meat increases toxins that can lead to cancer of the stomach and boost the risk of breast cancer. Meat contains iron, of which a lot of iron can raise a level of iron in our brain that may increase the risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. So if you want to stay healthy, please take note of how many meat you eat per month or week. Guys, please stay healthy and love healthy.